Heyo, what is up everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thanks for joining me, and let's jump right into it. Now you may be thinking, why were you in a brace for an entire year? Like, what was the injury that caused it? And might I surprise you by saying it was my stupidity, and it was about 3 injuries that caused it, and I went back and forth. That's why I say almost a year. I spent maybe like 2 months or less out of the brace, and the rest of the time I had to heal for like 3-month increments or 4-month increments, I believe. And if anything, I hope you can get a little bit of a precautionary tale and some entertainment out of this on my behalf. Our story starts off at a party, as all great stories do. I was hanging out with my friends after a long days of work, and we were, having all the fun party stuff you do. And I decided I was going to try and take my friends. It wasn't a penny board, but it was essentially the same thing, if you know what I'm talking about. Tiny little skateboard that should not really have tricks be done on it. Now I decided I was going to try and power slide. This did not turn out so well, and when I did my power slide, I fell onto my arm and dislocated my entire elbow, tore the ligaments and tendons on both sides, and my arm was stuck in a very, very fucked up, twisted situation. Maybe I'll throw that photo in. I'm not sure. I'm thinking about it. I bounced back up, and I knew my arm was fucked up because I was stuck holding it above my head, twisted with my hand twisted like backwards almost. And I couldn't move my wrist or my elbow. I could move my shoulder and wiggle my fingers, but that was it. Luckily, this happened on a Friday, so I had the whole weekend to cope mentally with the situation. I went to the hospital that night. They gave me the brace. They knocked me out. It took about an hour. They knocked me out and reset my entire arm and gave me this brace that was very robotic. It wasn't just like, an arm sling or anything like that. Instead, it had like multiple angled segments starting at like 90 and then going on to like 110, 130, so on and so forth until my arm would fully extend. And this was due to the fact that I did not get surgery for my torn ligaments and tendons. Instead, I opted to do a 3-month healing process with this arm brace. And I mean, it was kind of a pain in the ass, to be completely honest. But in my opinion, it was better than the option of surgery. So I did that, and it went really well. I got full mobility back in my arm. I started working out again. I got my arm pretty much almost what felt like back to normal. It obviously wasn't, but I was doing much better than I had been a couple months ago, Cut to one night, I'm going to meet my friends for dinner. And I'm driving my moped. This is in Hawaii, in case I forgot to mention that. I'm driving my moped that got stolen. You can check the other video. I'll tag that in a little box above. But I'm driving this moped, and I'm going down a one-way street right next to this big park, Kapiolani Park. And there's all these different, apartment buildings and stuff right next to the beach on the right side, and the park's on the left. And I'm going down this road, and I'm maybe 30 feet behind another car, and while we're going down this road, another car decides to cut in front of me and pull out of their apartment building right in front of me. At this moment in time, I just happen to only have my right hand holding the moped steering wheel, because I'm a fucking idiot. I told you my stupidity would come into the play here. Not that it didn't in the first instance either, but I digress. When this car pulled in front of me, they also were so close to the car that was already in front of me, they had to hit their brakes. So when they hit their brakes, I hit my brakes. Just so happened, I hit my front brakes. So instead of just coming to a nice clean stop, my bike decided to flip the front wheel and throw me headfirst off of it, going about 20-25 miles an hour. And I shit you not, I probably flew 10 feet in the air forwards and then belly flopped the ground. And in doing that, I smacked my entire right arm, as if I was falling face first, belly flopping the ground. I smacked the whole inside of my right arm against the ground. And in doing so, I tore everything in my arm again. Granted, I didn't dislocate my elbow, this time, but that would have been a better option in my opinion. Either way, it was back to the brace for another couple months, and I had to do the same exact routine all over again. Gosh, even thinking back on it, it's like, what the fuck, man? Yeah. Either way, I healed again, all perfectly. No surgery, wearing that brace for like 3.5, 4 months, something like that. Doing the extensions every couple of weeks with the arm and all. And I got back to normal again. Now, my moped was really fucked up at this point. I don't know if it was because of that crash or another one. Who knows? I had a lot of crashes on my moped. But, so I was taking it into a moped shop to get it fixed or whatnot. And they offered me a replacement, like a stand-in, so that I could still ride around while they fixed it for like a day or two. And they gave me this very old school, completely different size and shape moped than mine was. And they were like, yeah, give it a test in the parking lot. And I hopped on it, and I'm driving maybe like 5 or 10 miles an hour, get to the end of the parking lot, go to make a little U-turn, you know, and when I turn, the motion of my arms aren't fully allowed to move because my elbows start hitting my knees. That's how tight and small and compact this moped was. So when I do that, I'm going so slow that I practically had no option but to fall over. I know it sounds stupid, but in the moment, I didn't really have an option. So I fell over and instinctually put my arm out, and it just happened to be the same arm, and I fucked it all up again. I told you, my stupidity. But you know, lesson learned, spent an entire year in an arm brace. I healed it every time, never got surgery, and I'm completely good again. But for that 12 months or so, it was a fucking pain in the ass. So don't do the shit I did, pretty much, is what I'm trying to say. But hopefully you won't, because you'll have been smarter than I was back in the day. I mean, that's all we can hope for, right? Anyways, on that note, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode, sticking with me all the way through. If you liked it, slap a like. If you're not subscribed and you want more, hit that subscribe button. Notifications bell really helps me out. And I'm going to be trying to get back to my schedule that I had about a month ago, where I do at least 2 videos a week. I've been kind of slacking, so I'm going to try and pick back up the pace and start getting more stuff out. Really appreciate it, guys. Gotta say it again. Thank you so much, as always, for watching all my videos. And as a little Easter egg, I've posted on my community tab a couple options of what I should do next. I already have one in the pipeline, so this would be the one after it. Or maybe I can switch them around. We'll see. But check my community tab and vote on that for my next video. Alright, thanks, guys. Shoots.